It's the JT Cho Show!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another edition of the JT Show. I'm your host, JT. Today is someday in October. I think it's the 6th of October, and this is episode 90 of the JT Show. Now, I'm like, if you're a fan, you're wondering, like, oh my God, episode 90 of the JT Show, he's probably gotten way better at his format and figured out what he's wanted to do in life. No, still riding the same grind, still doing the same thing. I'm just trying to get better at my craft and, trying to get better every day so I can provide you better content. Now, I know it's, the last episode, if I look it up correctly, was uploaded just a week ago. Only 4 views, but I'm not doing it for the views. I'm doing it for practice, get my interviewing skills up, do all that jazz, so maybe one day this does get picked up and, I might, have a sponsor. That'd be crazy. But for now, just keep doing what you're doing. This is a hobby. I really like what I'm doing, but I wanted to wait because now I have so many things to talk about. Today we're going to talk about Squid Games. We're going to talk about Dave Chappelle's latest stand-up. There's a couple debate items that I want to talk to you about too. One of them having to deal with Aaron Rodgers and Matt Stafford. And the Super Bowl halftime show, super hyped for that. The NFL last week announced that Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar will be performing at the 2022 halftime show. So that's super dope, by the way. Like, that's going to be a lineup. Like, I've been advocating for years for them to put Weird Al Yankovic up there. Like, I think that'd be sick to get Weird Al Yankovic up there. But this Super Bowl halftime show is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see what they did for it. So let's start out with Squid Games, okay? Squid Games taking the nation by storm, okay? Squid Games is a South Korean show on Netflix. Like, it's in Korean, English subtitles. Some have argued that it has ruined or changed the plot of the show, depending on which side the subtitles that you use. But that's always what happens when you watch those types of shows. I'm an anime expert, and things do get lost in translation. That's why I prefer almost all the time to watch shows in the original context and read the subtitles, because you feel the raw emotion more of their voices. But, beggars can't be choosers. But Squid Games I watched with subtitles on, and basically it's a game where some secret head organization, and this isn't going to ruin anything. I'm not going to, give out so many spoilers, but if you haven't seen Squid Games and you want to, pause it right here. And I have no idea how long I'm going to go on Squid Games for, but look down in the description and I'll write down when I'm done talking about it. Anyways, so we go to Squid Games, and it's some secret organization rounds up all these people who have something in common. They're living miserable lives, and they give them an opportunity to win an egregious amount of money. Like, so much money that you don't have to worry about money anymore. Now, the only catch is these people don't understand what's truly at stake, which is their lives. So essentially, the rich elites are watching the poor struggle and suffer. So they can get entertainment, and then these people, have a shot at getting money. Now, the first game, we'll talk about the first game that you might have ever seen is red light, green light, okay? And this is the first time that everyone discovers that, they're going to kill us. Like, when you're eliminated, you die. Every game that this group of people play, they're children's games. So there's these adults, they're playing children's games, and but their lives are at stake. So red light, green light, they got to run across a field, but if they get caught moving when it's red light, they just get sniped. Pow. when this is first discovered, a whole group of them like turns around and tries to run away, and they're moving during red light. You don't move during red light, but bam, and everyone else that makes it through is like, holy shit. What I like about this series too is they laid out these 3 rules, because you're always like, are they really going to give you the money, or are they just going to kill you at the end and be like, yeah, we did it. But they have a rule sheet of like, once the game started, you have to finish, and then it has to be a majority of the people that want to quit if everybody wants to quit. So essentially, they gave all these people the opportunity to walk away, and then they went back to their regular lives. And as they went back to their regular lives, they realized how shitty their fucking life is, that I would rather risk my life to win fucking money than to go back to my 9 to 5, which doesn't fucking do anything for me at this point in life. Like, you're going to have to work 20 hours a day just to pull yourself out of everything that you might need to pull yourself out of. So, overall, though, the series was good. Good plot. Season 2, potentially. I'm not going to say much more, but, I don't want to be like, here's the ending battle. But some of the things that I did like about the show is that when it came time to focus on the nitty gritty, like there's a scene in a later episode where each contestant finishes their meal, looks down, and they clean the entire table. They clean the platform, the surfaces, but they leave them one knife, and then they leave them in an empty room. These contestants, they know that this is part of the game. You gotta stay awake with a knife, okay? That's mentally, they kept doing things more and more to break them down. Like that, I really like that aspect. Oh, if we stick as a team, we'll be good. Well, this next event took teamwork, and you thought you were gonna have a partner, and you ended up, some shitty ass shit happened. Like I said, I don't want to give away everything and talk about all the major descriptions in the show, but I really like how they started breaking down their humanity. Okay, but the main character through and through, he finished it. He did what he had to. Overall, I like the series though. Out of a 10, I'll give it a 7.4. Just because personally, I think it could have ended. But it just depends, I guess, if they do a season 2, how well done it will be. Sometimes shows should just end and they keep going, and then they run out of good ideas, and then they end on a terrible idea. It's happened to shows in the past. Sometimes you just need to know when to call it quits. So overall, Squid Games though, highly suggest it. We're about 8 minutes in, so I'll put the exact time when I'm done talking about Squid Game spoilers. The next thing I want to talk about is Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle just released his final stand-up comedy segment on Netflix. He signed the massive deal a few years back, and he just recently released The Closer on Netflix. Now, I watched The Closer last night, and I will have to say this. Dave Chappelle, hands down, he's been my favorite comedian all the way back since he was Rick James, bitch. Dave Chappelle in middle school, to me, was one of the funniest motherfuckers I've ever listened to. Killing Them Softly came out. Thought that was hilarious. How High is not the right movie. It's Half Baked. Those two movies came out around the same time, but Half Baked I thought was a hilarious movie. He was in Blue Streak. Everywhere I was looking, I was seeing Dave Chappelle when I was younger, but he's the GOAT in my book. He's one of my favorite people to listen to. All of his specials are so smart. They're not all funny ha-has. He makes really good points and then throws a funny ha-ha. Now, The Closer, my God. This happened to me recently, and it just happened to me again last night. As you may know, I aspire to be a comedian, okay? And that's what I'm trying to do with my life. Will that happen? Maybe not. Maybe I'm not funny. Maybe I'll never get it done. Maybe I'll never get discovered. Maybe all my hard work will be for nothing. But that's why I document it, just in case. So I can look back and be like, look at how fucking much of a loser you were, you know? No, but I don't ever really consider those. But when I watched his craft, I didn't go, I just want to give up. I'll never be that good. It just kind of blew my mind to go, holy shit, I need to get way fucking better. Like, his material and callbacks and issues that he talked about and who he talked about, oh my God, it was incredible. Like, it's almost like being a baseball player. And you're a batter, you're up at bat, and you're facing some pitcher, okay? And this pitcher, you've watched film on him, and you know that on a 3-2 count, he likes to throw it low and away. And so you're thinking he's going to throw it low and away right here, and I'm going to knock it out of the park. I know it's coming. I know it's coming low and away, and I'm going to hit it. And as the ball releases, you think for a second, it's not going low and away. But then it still does, because you weren't ready for it. Now, my dogs are barking in the background because some bullshit's happening outside. But we're going to continue. But what I'm saying is, like, you know the joke's coming for Dave Chappelle. Hold on one second. I'm going to yell at these dogs. I think the neighbor's mowing, which is really upsetting his psyche, but that's okay. But back to Dave Chappelle. It's like, as he's setting up his jokes, he's hitting very real issues and talking about some very real shit. I'm not gonna, like, oh my God, he said this joke. Like, number one, when you're describing a joke to somebody that hasn't seen it, it kind of ruins the joke, because it's not yours. You're paraphrasing, and what stand-up comedy is capturing that raw emotion live. Now, I was listening to some JRE today, and he kind of said, like, what you get on Netflix when you watch a special is about 60% of the energy of what you would actually feel if you were there. Which, if you've ever been to a live stand-up performance, it's kind of true. Now, I've laughed my ass off at some Netflix specials, but when you're there and other people are laughing around you, it's kind of like this contagious disease. Like, when some people are laughing, everyone's laughing, and everyone's having a good time. And it happens like with scary movies too. Like, if you ever go see a scary movie, I like seeing scary movies in the theaters because there's that edge, that atmosphere, that like for example, I was in Clovis, New Mexico at their shitty little theater, and it was Annabelle. And I went with my girlfriend at the time, and the theater that it was playing in, the air conditioner stopped working. And this is like 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock, so it's already dark outside. And it's just warm. But then you just get this feeling of everybody's fucking uncomfortably warm, but scared at the same time. And that was one of the only movies, personally, that I said, oh shit, verbally, because I wasn't ready for it, and people laughed at it, because I was just like, shit, like, I wasn't expecting a scene to happen like that, like some bitches were popping and locking and all that other jazz, they were popping and locking. I was, oh shit, and it's that build, it's that atmosphere. But what Dave Chappelle did in this special, one, he proved that quit taking shit out of context, okay? That's the number one biggest threat, I think, to our society, is people who don't do their... It's not even, oh, I do my own research. It's people that look at an article, a headline, and don't even, like, read into it at all or see another point of view. Like, when I read articles online, if I see an article shared by Fox News or CNN, I Google it, and then I read it from both sides. And I try to decipher in my brain if it's worth me caring or not, But people need to stop fucking paraphrasing. Number two, he kind of just backed his original points. So he had some, like, major callbacks to previous stand-ups, which is super hard to do, by the way. But my God, was his material so polished. He shot it in Detroit, which I thought was awesome. But I've got to work harder. Okay, I've got this book called The War of Art. Next week I will be starting this book. Just because the new James Bond movie is coming out this weekend, and in my free time I'm going to be catching up on all the Bond films because I want to be ready to go watch that movie. But yeah, Dave Chappelle's art form of stand-up comedy, it was unmatched. It was just so good. If I was lesser of a man, I would curl up in a ball, cry a little bit, and fucking quit stand-up comedy forever. Delete all my content, take the JT show down. I'd probably stick to streaming, but I do that for shiggles. But his stand-up special was probably one of the funniest ones I've ever seen from Dave Chappelle. It was very good, and I highly suggest that you watch it. And, that is said with little to no spoilers in it whatsoever. All right, let's turn some gears here. Last week, my old roommate sent me this photo that I'm going to put right here, and this photo says, Matthew Stafford would have been more successful in Green Bay than Aaron Rodgers. This is from Golden Tate on the Matthew Stafford success with the Los Angeles Rams. Now, I've previously stated on this podcast and on the show The Picks. If you haven't seen The Picks, go to Instagram, look up The Picks 001. It's my football show I do, uploading an episode later tonight to the same channel. But I've said on The Picks that Matt Stafford is like the glass slipper and the Rams are like Cinderella. It's a perfect fucking fit. Okay? And Sean McVay is the prince. Okay? And the Rams, I might have said the Chargers, but the Rams are the princess and Matt Stafford is the princess and the Rams are the glass slipper. It's a perfect fit. Perfect fit. Now, the Cardinals are the real deal, if you saw the game last week. Well, the real deal Cardinals. They're playing very good. Kyler Murray, killing it. He's like a cheat code right now. He's playing Madden in real life. But Matt Stafford is working for the Rams. And that's our subject. Kyler Murray's great, but we're focused on this little debate. Now, seeing Aaron Rodgers grow up in Green Bay. We saw him drafted high as a rookie. We said the shit about, San Francisco's going to be mad they didn't fucking draft me, and then they lost in the AFC Championship. But, 2011 in the playoffs, won the Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was the only year I believe that was the only year, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. That was the only year where Green Bay had the number one defense that year. But I think twice, maybe three times at most, Aaron Rodgers, the defense has only been in the top five, like twice or three times at most. There's things that are very similar between these two quarterbacks. Number one, they haven't really always had a run game. Now Aaron Rodgers has a run game. Aaron Jones, Williams last year, A.J. Dillon's coming for his sophomore season. So they do have running game. They have implemented the run, and they've been very successful at it. That is a LaFleur style of offense, because you see the teams that throw 45, 50 times a game, and, you abandon the run, and the run is very successful still in the NFL. Matt Stafford, on the other hand, hardly has ever had a run game. I know I've said this before, and I wish I had the stat, written down, but, for example, let's say there's 15 games, okay, and out of 14 of those games, Matt Stafford... all 15 games, Matt Stafford had a rusher who got 100 yards rushing. Matt Stafford's 14 of 15 for those games. So when his team gives him 100 rushing yards, or one rusher gives him 100 rushing yards, he went 14 or 15 for some odd years. Now, the Lions' defense has been worse than the Green Bay's defense over the longevity of both of their careers. But Matt Stafford would not have been a good fit for Green Bay. Matt Stafford's tough. He'll put his body on the line, but Aaron Rodgers' ability to extend the play and throw on the run has been keeping Green Bay alive since we won the Super Bowl. The way that he's scrambled out of the pocket and put the ball right where it needs to be, 40 yards downfield when the time is, ticking on the clock and it's now or never, Aaron Rodgers keeps the play alive. I understand he's a little bit older now. He'll probably be going to the Steelers next year. But Aaron Rodgers' mobile ability is what kept that offense alive. There's big plays that have happened over the years where Aaron Rodgers has had really nice pockets and he moves very freely in them. And he's holding the ball for, a long time. And that's when those big plays open up for Green Bay. But you have to keep an honest front, because if you leave Aaron Rodgers too much room, he'll at least get 15 yards down the field and he'll be pretty good. Now, over the years, we've had our good running backs. We've had Eddie Lacy. Right now we have Aaron Jones and we have A.J. Dillon. Montgomery was good for a season, but we haven't always had the best running game like the Lions. Matt Stafford's more of a system quarterback. That is not a bad thing, okay? He's got a fantastic arm. It is furiously fast. He throws the ball with such velocity. He's a gunslinger. He's like a Brett Favre. And Brett Favre worked for the Packers for all those years, but Aaron Rodgers kind of progressed the team to what football almost requires from quarterbacks these days, from your Kyler Murrays, from your old Cam Newtons. The ability, even Josh Allen does it. Yeah, even Josh Allen does it for the Bills. He extends the plays with his legs. Christian McCaffrey this year is out for the Panthers, and Sam Darnold had like 5 rushing touchdowns over the last 2 weeks. It's like the ability to use your legs, but Aaron Rodgers takes that ability and elevates it just slightly because he can throw accurately downfield to a guy on the sidelines who's tiptoeing, who's Michael Jackson planting his toes in the field and catching the ball out of bounds, but he's established the 2 feet. That is throwing the ball on a dime. And Aaron Rodgers he's had that system, he's had that swag, and he's kept that market alive. He said it this year too. He said, Green Bay's not a big market. People don't play here to live here, They come here to play with me. Now, some say that's a little arrogant, but who's playing for the Milwaukee Bucks right now without Giannis, okay? I don't think very many superstars would want to be real, Small market. And I'm saying small market, but compared to LA, compared to New York, small market. So, Golden Tate saying that Matt Stafford would have been more successful in Green Bay than Aaron Rodgers, I don't think so. I think Aaron Rodgers took his athletic ability to the maximum all those years. The 2 years that he got, the 1 year that he got hurt, and we had that really bad season. You saw what the Packers were without Aaron Rodgers, but we also saw how bad the Lions were without Matt Stafford. And again, Matt Stafford's a great quarterback, and he's a great fit for the LA Rams. They've got a decent run game, great members on defense. Cooper Kupp is having a hell of a season. They've got a decent receiving core, but Aaron Rodgers never had a mega weapon like Megatron. Aaron Rodgers has had great receivers, but he's also a quarterback, and one of my favorite quotes about him is he can take his top 5 Twitter followers and make them Pro Bowlers, because he can throw to anybody. And for a few years, Matt Stafford was only throwing to Megatron, and he became a better quarterback after Megatron retired, because he had to throw the ball to more than just a giant motherfucker down the field. So I disagree with Golden Tate because they're two different style of quarterbacks, okay? They're playing the same game of football. They're just, one's playing chess and the other's playing checkers. And I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is so much smarter. I'm just saying he just added another element. Matt Stafford's doing the things that you need to, okay? And he's moving correctly. But Aaron Rodgers, the way that he moves the ball, he just does it differently, okay? They're two different style of quarterbacks. So I take that statement, completely flush it down the toilet, completely disagree with it. And, want to move on. Besides that, I have another stand-up gig this Sunday at Mulligan's in Grand Rapids. Really excited for that. I joined a page. I facilitated myself. That's the wrong terminology for that. I started talking with other comics, and one added me to a page. And there's so much stand-up that I want to do it at least 4 times a week. So I bought myself a planner. Oh, which, by the way, I bought myself this planner. Took a photo of it. And that was the same day that Facebook, Instagram, all that shit was down. And people were going crazy. Twitter was fucking crazy. Everyone was on Twitter again, which I like Twitter. Twitter's like my public diary, okay? I had cheese today. Twitter is my place where I just throw random fucking thoughts on. Nobody really follows me on it. It's kind of like my mobile. Like, hey, here's how I feel. I'll get way more touchy-feely on issues. Like, I'm not going to be like, abortion, that's none of my fucking business. My body's not a woman's body, so my opinion fucking doesn't matter. But for things that I feel like affect my life, I throw on Twitter. I like reading on Twitter. I like seeing what's trending on Twitter. But kind of made you realize how much of the world uses Facebook. I missed an appointment with some people that I needed to meet up with because I forgot. And they were supposed to hit me up on Facebook. But by the time I got the messages, it's hours later. Completely forgot. It's kind of mind-blowing how much social media the world uses and how people were freaking out, but I just went back to my normal day. I was like, whatever. Like, every now and then, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I would like be on my phone, and then you like, I'm going to click on an app to see if anybody liked my photo. But like, get on Instagram, see some funny memes, Every now and then I would do that, and I would forget, it's down, that's right. And then I'd go back to like, watching TV or something, and then, it's down, that's right. And I did that, a handful of times. But no harm, no foul, Other than that, though, I think I'm going to call it for this week's episode. It was, a little longer, a little half hour. Congrats to Jeff. Jeff, if you know what's going on, Jeff, congrats. If you don't know what's going on, you'll find out. No, I had a blast this week. I got to work, and then I got stand-up comedy for the weekend. I got a diaper party. Might be hitting up a podcast with Earl. All depends what we got going on. Football this weekend. The picks will be uploaded tonight on Instagram. That's thepicks001 on Instagram. It uploads to YouTube Thursday morning. If you want to fill out the fan picks, where you the fans, by you the fans, you pick who you think's going to win each week, and then the winning totals. So like you pick them, and then everybody else picks them, and then whoever, the majority of them picks this team to win, and that's your choice for the week. Currently, the fans are tied in first place with Cut at 33 wins for picks and 15 losses. I'm in last place with 17 losses and 31 correct picks. There's a long season to go, and that's without week 4s. I think I might have got a few back, but not enough to make a huge solid difference. But hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys want me to talk about something or research something, leave a comment in the box. I was going to do a whole bunch of research with like data and numbers for the Stafford Rodgers thing, I just didn't have the time. My life is a spiral. It's fucking out of control. But I'm doing things to help my mental stability. I'm doing things that need to be done. Friday, deep clean of my house, okay? There's just things that I need to get done so that I can start doing the things that I like to do. But, thanks for sticking with me. We've got 10 episodes till episode 100, and I hope to make that a really fucking good episode. I might do that live on Twitch just to see how it goes. Bring in some special guests, but we'll find that out for sure. But thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment, like it, share it, tell your mom and dad. Except if they know my mom and dad, then don't tell them. But thank you guys so much for watching. All have a blessed day. Signing out, Captain's Log.